Hey guys, Scottish Football here, back with another video. And today's video is Premier League score predictions, game week 32. So it's another score predictions video. So I'm doing a lot of score predictions video because of a lot of games. Because the season obviously got resumed a few weeks ago because COVID-19 got in the way and suspended it. With COVID-19 and controlling the virus is more important than football. But just look at it. Just look at all the people going to the beaches, flocking it. It's disgraceful. Well, once they ease the restrictions, people just think you can just do whatever you want. But it doesn't work like that, I'm afraid. I want to have just as much fun as everybody else, but you just have to think about the consequences at times. Also, we could get a second wave of coronavirus. I've seen that the celebrations already got under place at Anfield last night. Well, congratulations to Liverpool on what they've done under Klopp, but really, they should have cleared up all the rubbish than last night, really. Well, when Coventry City won the league and they celebrated winning the title in the city, they actually cleared up from their celebrations, so fair play to Coventry. But Liverpool, I think they need to be a little bit more respectful of their area. The rubbish being left there puts a bad reputation on their ground and the area, I'm afraid. You just have to think of the real picture. Right then, let's get into the video. Right, the first game of tomorrow is Aston Villa versus Wolverhampton Wanderers in the West Midlands rivalry. Well, it's not a derby, actually, it's just a West Midlands rivalry. Obviously, I'm a Wolves fan, and I'm hoping that we're going to beat Villa tomorrow. Hopefully, we're going to go and smash those villains tomorrow. I'm going to go a 2-1 win for Wolves here. Well, you say that, it could be a draw or anything in a rivalry, but I just think Wolves have just got more quality than Aston Villa. Villa just don't get enough wins. Well, Villa have got a good chance of staying up, but in my personal opinion, they don't get enough wins and they concede far too many goals. If it wasn't for Tyrone Mings in defence, they'd have probably conceded about 100 by now, 90 or 100, so... If it wasn't for Tyrone Mings, they'd probably concede about 100 goals, probably. Right, so how do you think Wolves, well, we just beat Bournemouth 1-0, obviously that's not the best result I wanted, we didn't play it too well there, but second half we were alright. It's the same story with us, we're always better in the second half. I think most of the games we've won, the goals have come in the second half, I think. That's what I think anyway. Anyway, it seems that we scored more goals against the bigger teams than the smaller teams. So, right, so let's move on to the next game, which is Watford versus Southampton. Honestly, Watford have only picked up 1 point in the last 2 games, and then Southampton have picked up 3 in the last 2, so Southampton didn't play especially well against Arsenal, and they didn't watch the Watford game, so I'm going to say a 1-1 draw here. I think Southampton haven't really got anything to play for, really, because I think they're well safe now. Watford are still in the relegation scrap, but I just think they can't go down as they beat Liverpool 3-0 at Vicarage Road, so I do think they'll stay up this season. Oh, my dad thinks they might go down, but I don't think they will. It's just so tight to predict, that's what it is. Right, let's go on to the next prediction. Crystal Palace versus Burnley. Crystal Palace obviously lost 4-0 to Liverpool last, and obviously it was just a little too much for them because they've had a fantastic season and they have got some good results. Burnley, they did lose 5-0 and then just recently beat Watford. Did anyone see that banner that got that aeroplane that put that banner across in the sky that said White Lives Matter, which is someone said kind of arrogant, which is a bit of a disgrace. But it is arrogant in my opinion. Well, in my opinion, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter in my opinion. Right, everyone matters. Right, I'm going to say Crystal Palace 1, Burnley 1, and just go for another draw. Right, the next game is Brighton and Hove Albion versus Manchester United. Well, Manchester United are picking up some results now. They got 1-1 draw against Spurs. They didn't play the best they could, but then they got a cracking 3-0 win against Sheffield United. If that in real life, if that was in real life, I think Sheffield United might have actually got something out of the game. Since Sheffield United have been playing behind closed doors, they have actually done pretty bad. I don't think they scored a goal in their last 3 games. They have not scored a goal in their last 3 games, Sheffield United. So for this game here, I'm going to say 3-1 to Manchester United. I think they got more than enough quality over Brighton, but no disrespect to Brighton. You can't write them off in this game. But they beat Arsenal, right? And well, people will be saying it's only Arsenal. I'll agree with them over that. But it's still a big team, though, aren't they? At the moment, their new nickname of Arsenal is Injury Alert FC. They've lost their teenage star, Gabriel Martinelli, down to injury. He looks a cracking player. They've got a lot of bright youth prospects coming in at Arsenal. Bukayo Saka, Joe Willock. Willock scored him a night. They've got a lot of good players. Arsenal, they've got a lot of good youngsters coming through. So I think a lot of the youngsters can do a lot better job than a lot of the players that are on big wages who are not even playing that well. But David Luiz have been given a new contract, which has actually surprised people. Honestly, I actually like David Luiz. He was a great player at Chelsea. He hasn't done the best at Arsenal, but think about it. He scored 2 or 3 goals for Arsenal this season. Obviously getting sent getting a yellow card, getting away a penalty, defending really badly, and getting sent off pretty bad on your team because Arsenal weren't playing too bad until that, but they still pretty would have lost. But David Luiz, at his age, he's still be getting a new contract because he's only putting 1 foot wrong in 1 game though. Honestly, I like David Luiz. Honestly, I do. Right, so let's move on to the next game, which is Arsenal versus Norwich City. I am not going to say Norwich to come out on top in any more of these games now. I'm going to say 2-0 to Arsenal. Well, I was thinking about saying 2-1 Arsenal earlier, but I thought I'd go 2-0 as they just recently beat Southampton. Right, so let's move on to the next game. Bournemouth versus Newcastle United. Well, Newcastle United have started to get some good results together. They haven't lost a game in the last 2, and Bournemouth have lost the last 2 games. They played quite well against Wolves, so we're playing for the draw against Wolves in very hot conditions. I think Wolves struggled because of in really hot conditions and Bournemouth. While Bournemouth were up in playing that game, people were down at the beaches in their place. It's alright, these people that really go to the football stadiums, they're probably the people that are going to the beaches. Say you can't go in a football stadium, but then letting thousands of millions of people go to the beach in England. It's disgusting, the scenes that I've seen with the rubbish being left behind. That will go into the ocean, kill the animals, people kill this planet off, which is an absolute utter disgrace. It's not hard. Take your bloody rubbish home. It's not hard, is it? Right, so I'm going to say 2-1 to Newcastle here. I think Bournemouth will play quite well and then they'll come out with the same old story again and lose. The next game is Everton versus Leicester City. Well, Leicester have picked up 2 draws in the last 2 games and no wins yet. Could Everton be the game for them? I don't think so. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw because Everton are playing quite good at the moment. They actually played really well against Liverpool, so and they sort of won that Merseyside derby as well. Right, let's move on to the next game then. West Ham United versus Chelsea. West Ham have been really disappointing at the moment. It looks like they might go down. It'll be embarrassing for West Ham if they go down with a 60,000 seater stadium. Honestly, I don't know what's happened to them. By their owners, they are offered that they'll be hoping. I watched an interview with Karen Brady once saying that hopefully they'll be hoping to get Champions League nights here, Europa League nights here instead. They're getting relegation nights at the London Stadium more like. Honestly, I do feel sorry for the West Ham fans, I do. It's not their fault they're stuck in a stadium which doesn't create an atmosphere, and and doesn't suit the area where the club are from. And what really gets at me about their badge is that it says West Ham. It said West Ham London on the badge, and there's lots of clubs in London. Well, West Ham is in London, but there's lots of other clubs in London. They should have the traditional West Ham United badge on there. I think the stadium of West Ham it's not in the area. It's in Stratford. It's a nice stadium, but they should have built it better. Facilities look good, but they just needed to. It's a lower the capacity down slightly. It should have 45,000, 40,000 and a better stadium, not build a 60,000 seater stadium which doesn't create an atmosphere. West Ham do have a decent following behind them, but a 60,000 seater might just be a little bit too much for them. But I think a 40,000 seater stadium, 45,000 will be good for them. Right, let's move on to the next. So I'm going to go 2-1 win here to Chelsea. I think Chelsea might settle for another 2-1 win, and they've got way more quality over West Ham at the moment. Chelsea recently just beaten Aston Villa, where Aston Villa 2-1 and Man City 2-1. Chelsea played really well last night, and they deserve to win that game full-heartedly. Right, the next game is Sheffield United versus Tottenham Hotspur. This will be a very cagey affair and very scrappy game here. Spurs haven't done the best they could over the last two games against Man U and West Ham, but as long as they're getting some kind of results together to try and get in Europe, that's alright. They need to get a couple more together. I am going to say a 1-0 win here for Tottenham Hotspur. I think Sheffield United might be going on a goal drought again and still be looking for their first goal. With all fairness, at the same time, they are playing at home now. This is a home game for them, so the result might change slightly. Because they might be struggling behind closed doors away from home. They might be struggling over that, but they might be able to cope in their own stadium. I don't think Sheffield United will qualify for Europa League football now, I was actually looking forward to them qualifying for that. I actually hope they go into the Europa League qualifiers this year. But I've got a lot of respect for Chris Wilder and Sheffield United. Bringing them into League One, into the Championship, they're fighting for the playoffs, and now they got second place last season. Now I think they're at 8th and 9th place now, so it's not good. It's not very good for them now, but it's still classed as a good season for them, with all fairness. So I think with KG fan, I think Tottenham might just catch Sheffield United out of nowhere. Right, the next game is Manchester City versus Liverpool. Well, Liverpool don't have anything to play for now because they've already won the title. So I think it could be a draw. I'm going to say 2-2. I thought Man City possibly, before I knew Liverpool won the title, I thought Man City were going to win this game, but I think a 2-2 draw here. Right, we're ending the video now, so if you like the video, please to like and subscribe. And if you are enjoying the score prediction video and other videos, please do check them out and share them with your friends, and tell all your other friends to subscribe to the channel. Until then, guys, see ya.